What should mommy say? What should oh, you just want to take over? Okay. Don't lick my ear, that's weird. Hey everybody! Welcome to our YouTube channel. Is that good enough? Or you think that's lame? He doesn't like it. He likes it. Hi guys, welcome to our YouTube channel. It's not ours, but this is my son Noah, and you will see a lot of him on this channel, so might as well start this off the right way and introduce him right off the bat because he is my loving angel and my boyfriend, and I love you so much, and you are the man and the rock in my life, and I can't live without you. Oh my god. By the way, I will never say that about a man. Seriously though, guys, welcome into my channel. I can't even believe this is happening because it's been such a long time since I've been planning this that like I'm finally doing it. Putting yourself out there is a lot. I know it's new and I know it has a lot of room to evolve and grow, but this is what it is for now, and I hope you enjoy what I put out there. I think what you're gonna see most of is beauty. I am gonna talk a lot about wine on this channel. It's another passion of mine, and it's a huge part of my Katsy Lou initiative. The whole story about Katsy Lou, by the way, is on my blog, which is linked in the description of this video, so go check it out. My goal is to break down beauty in a very understandable way. I don't want this space to be intimidating. I don't want you to feel like you can't do certain looks that I'm doing. I want to make sure that I'm walking you through all the steps so that you can do it at home. Makeup is very intimidating, and you know, I used to work in a boutique and a lot of people would come in and be like, whoa, this is a lot. What do I do with this and what do I do with this? I've been down that road before too. I've been loving makeup ever since I was 14, and I've learned so much about it just from watching YouTube myself and trying out products. So you're gonna see a lot of education on this channel. You will see a lot of beauty reviews on products. I'm really about that. I love product reviews. Yes, I see you. I do, I see you. And it's all about Noah. Oh my god, look at him. He is only 7 months old and he is so bad right now. But I love him so much. Why do you smell like urine? You little sunny dollar, you. Oh my god, you do. This dog, I love him more than life. It's so, we're the best. Look at him. Mamacita. Seriously. Get it together, cat, get it together. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys do subscribe so that you can check out future videos, but today is all about kind of an everyday look. I say everyday, but like this, no. Like I don't do my hair like this every day, FYI. I did it because it was the first video and I had to like look normal. I definitely don't do my hair every day either, so this is... Are you hearing my stomach right now? Today's video is how I achieved this look, which is very close to my everyday look. It's a little more though, you're gonna see in the video, kind of like a little get ready with me situation, and I hope you guys learn something from it. If you have any suggestions as for what you want to see in future videos, I know a lot of people want to see fashion hauls and style tips, which is really out of my comfort zone. I don't even think I have a direct sense of style. But if you want to see anything like that, a lot of people have suggested home decor, which I also love so much. Just let me know in the comments below or reach out to me privately and we can make that happen. In the meantime, here is my everyday look. Right, mommy? Oh my god, I love you so much. I love you. So before I get into the education process of my everyday makeup routine in the morning, well, not every day, because let's just be honest, I don't do this every day. I wanted to preach to you guys about the importance of skincare. If you take care of your skin, your makeup and any color cosmetic product that you put on your face is just going to sit so much nicer than it would without skincare. I don't care if it's just cleansing your skin or putting on a cleansing mask and then a moisturizer. Doesn't matter. Always make sure that you're taking care of your skin prior to doing any makeup application. I cannot stress that enough. I think one day I'm gonna do a video where I do my makeup like with skincare and then do it without, just to show you the difference, because everything just looks dry and flaky. It's really scary. I don't like it at all. But again, it doesn't matter if it's just a cleanser and a simple moisturizer. Just do it and get it out of the way. What I do in the morning is a lot of cleansing and toning and moisturizing. There's a whole process I do in the morning, and there's also a really extreme process. I don't think it's extreme now because it takes me like 5 minutes, but it's something that you need to get adjusted to. So if you're currently not taking care of your skin, get on that train. There is absolutely no point in having amazing makeup products and taking time to do your makeup if you're not taking care of the skin underneath it. Beautiful skin means everything else looks even more beautiful. All right, so the first thing I start with Yes, the first thing I start with is caffeine because I can't do this without it. By the way, everybody in their New Year's resolutions, like, they don't drink cream in their coffee, and I'm like, probably gained 10 pounds just from this coffee. So the first thing I do after I take care of my skin and prep my skin is put on a primer. This is the DHC Velvet Skin Coat. I don't think a lot of people know about this product, like maybe they do. One day I was browsing online and it was some article about like the 33 things you need to buy on Amazon, like must-have items. But this one was so worth it. If you've ever tried the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer, this one is like a very similar texture, a very similar consistency, and it's just this like gel-like, you don't need to use that much. There is 0.52 ounces in this product. It doesn't seem like a lot at all, but you really only need a little bit. And what I do with this, since it does give you kind of more of like a matte velvety feel, is put this along the cheeks right here, a little apple for the cheeks, on the forehead, and it just kind of like mattifies everything, which is nice. I have super dry skin all year round though, so for me to mattify my skin is not something I typically do, but I do like to minimize the appearance of pores where and when I can with whatever products I can, and this is one of those products. I even put primer on the neck. Excuse, this is on my face. Oh, I'm sorry, like I totally forgot to mention that. I'm just so used to looking at it now, but none of you are. That's the primer. Think of primer as, think of your face as a wall. Actually, that's just weird, don't do that. When you're painting a wall, you put primer on before you put the actual color on. The same thing goes for your face. So that's why this is important, because everything lays so much nicer on the skin. Your foundation looks smoother, everything. So after the primer, I like to spray my face to make it dewier. This product is actually called Make It Dewy Setting Spray. It's by a company called Milani. This gives my skin a more natural glow. I like having dewiness. My skin is dry 24/7, 365 days out of the year, especially now. It's like 20 degrees outside, and apparently we're getting hail and sleet this weekend, so.
Can't wait for that.
But anyway, I like to spray this setting spray all over my face. A lot of people do this after their makeup. I like to do it before, just because it gives like a nice dewy prep. So, that was like
so intense.
Spray that all over the face. Sometimes I'll just let it sit there. Other times I will take a damp beauty sponge and kind of just like press the spray into the skin. By the by, you do not have to do all these steps. Like, I'm not telling you how to do your makeup. I just know a lot of people wanted beauty education, so here it is. Before I go in with any foundation, I always like to lighten up the under eyes if I can with like kind of a color correcting situation. This is the Milani color correcting palette, same company as that setting spray I just used. They're more of a creamy consistency, so I usually either decide to apply this with my fingers or I'll apply it with an actual brush. Today I am going to use a brush from Morphe. It's called the M432 brush. It's just like a flat brush, simple. I never use the green, but I do always use these 3 shades in order to cancel out any of the purple darkness of despair under my eyes. So I just go in with the brush, put a little bit of this on, and I like to put a little bit on my lids too. I just have such thin skin. Not figuratively. Figuratively, I would say I do have a thick skin, but the visual representation of that is not there. This is a step you can totally skip if you don't have as deathly under eyes as I do. All right, now that I've done a good bit of color correcting under the eyes, I like to go in with foundation. Oh, this foundation's so good. It's $10.99 at Target. You can get it at Ulta. It is a drugstore foundation, and I swear it's on the top of my list. This is the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour full coverage foundation. If you want it locked and loaded for the whole day, this is your guy. It's so, so good. I'm gonna use 2 shades though, because This is way too extremely dark for me, and this is shade Golden. This is shade Natural Ivory. This is like what I would normally wear if I were super light. This is if I were living in Mexico. This is not something for me. I don't know why I bought this. Like, I thought it would work with my self tanner, and no, I'm always gonna be not dark. Who am I? I'm just gonna shake these up, shake it up a little bit. And this might look like a lot of product, but just bear with me, okay? Everything looks weird when you first start out. It just really does. So I'm gonna put a few dots all over my face of the golden shade. Oh, there's that zit. Don't we all just love looking at that? And again, never neglect the neck. Everything should be going on your neck as well, because you're gonna blend all that later. So just put a few dots of this on my neck. Then I'm gonna take that Natural Ivory shade to balance it all out. And take this, oh, that's a little white. Ooh, mommy. Okay. We're gonna see how this goes, guys. I don't think I ever really used these two together, so Godspeed. Now that I look like I have smallpox, I'm gonna take a dampened beauty sponge. This is so dirty and gross. Sorry. I did clean it off, but I do dampen the beauty sponge, and then I'm gonna take that Make It Dewy setting spray that I sprayed all over my face in the beginning and spray it onto my beauty sponge.
Just like that. Okay.
And this is my favorite part. By the way, it's not gonna take you this long to do this. Like, I'm really walking through this so that we don't miss a beat. Oh, there's nothing better than the feeling of just blending all of this together. I love blending foundation. So whenever you use a beauty sponge, by the way, you never want to swipe. Like, it's not meant to swipe. It's really meant to dab. This is totally not. I guess this is why I didn't use the golden shade, because it was so golden that it looks so wrong on my skin. We're gonna work it through though. Here's the thing, I'm looking in the mirror directly in front of me and it looks perfect. Like, I don't understand why it looks so yellow on this camera, but we're gonna work it out because later we're gonna add concealer. Always make sure that you're really pressing this into the skin. I also like to put product over my eyes just to make sure everything's balanced. I'm gonna have to bring this onto the décolletage. I promise you it does not look this yellow in real life. It looks so yellow on camera. It's really not. I'm looking in the mirror here and I'm like,
Oh, it's good, girl.
it's gonna look a lot better when we use concealer. Now that my foundation is complete, we're gonna go in with the concealer. I always put concealer not only on the under eyes, but I like to put concealer right down here on the jawline. I like to put it here on the chin, on the nose. This is where you're gonna etch out the places that you really want to be pronounced whenever you use your bronzer later. You'll see. Today and pretty much every day I use the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Concealer. This stuff I didn't discover until a couple of months ago. I was at Ulta and I asked one of the sales associates like what she would prefer. I asked her what would work for skin that is maturing and aging. This is one of the concealers she recommended, so thank you so much, beautiful lady at Ulta. This has like a spongy type of applicator, and at first I was like, but I actually really like it. You go in a clockwise direction. Shouldn't it be counterclockwise? I feel like that's the way it should turn. Those are just my little ideas running through my brain because it's age rewind. Like, you don't want to go forward. If I were using Tarte Shape Tape, you would never see this much concealer on my face, under my eyes. It's just way too full coverage and cakey for that. Like, for me, I am 28 years old. I do have aging skin. I take really good care of my skin for the most part, but listen, I got wrinkles now, okay? I like to put this on the jawline. I will tell you though, this sponge applicator, it just feels really good. I like to put, you know, the sign of the cross.
Bless.
And then on the nose, bridge of the nose, and right above here. Okay, right above the lid. And that's it. The makeup look is complete. All right, I'm such a loser. Seriously. The next step in the process is to blend all of this concealer out. So I am going to take that same dampened beauty sponge I used in the beginning to apply my foundation. By the way, the shade of this concealer is Sand for your reference. I'm going to take that same setting spray I used in the beginning, the Make It Dewy spray, spray it all over the beauty sponge, same type of process, and blend. Again, dabbing motions. You just never want to swipe with the beauty sponge. It's like, questionable. Also, when I'm doing my under eye area, I like to bring the product up onto the eyelid. I just like everything to be consistent. You don't have to follow this process. Again, this is not anyone's makeup routine but my own. You can totally copy it 100%, or you can adjust it so that you're more comfortable. I'm not telling you what to do with your face. I look scary. Once you're done putting concealer all over your eyes, I really make it a point to go very quickly with the next step, which is the powder, because if you give it more time, it's probably gonna sink into those fine lines. So I like to get rid of that right away. I'm gonna take the Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder. This is a higher end product. It's like $32, but $32 for 1 ounce. That's not to say I haven't used dupes of this product or things that you could consider very similar. I do, and I will show you those in other videos, and those will also be linked in the description below. But this is just one that I always go back to. Like, I just can't get away from this product. It's always in my makeup bag. I use it every single day. I just love it. I always like to do a little shake and give it a little shake. I'm gonna take the same dampened beauty sponge. It doesn't even have to be damp at this point. I never go back and soak this with water. It just stays however it was. So I'm gonna take a little bit of this powder onto my beauty sponge, tap, and then go right on the under eye and like press in. You can also, a lot of people like to bake the under eye. I really only do that if I'm going somewhere. Like, what that means is you kind of just let it sit for 3 to 5 minutes and then you wipe it all off later, and it just gives you a little bit of a more defined look. But this is more for me, like, this is my natural go-to everyday look. So I also think having drier skin, this whole pressing into the skin process it just works out a lot better for me, personally. I even like to take a little bit of this product and put it alongside the nose. This powder is so beautiful on the skin. It looks so pretty. Seriously, oh, I'm never gonna get over this. Just got it in my nose. Press, press, press. Now I'm gonna take more powder and just put it on the other areas that I put my concealer. The concealer that I have since blended out. But I'll also bring a little bit of the product, like the excess, up onto the cheek area so that the whole cheek is covered. There's only 1 ounce of product in this tub, but a little bit goes a long way, especially with a lot of the high-end products you'll find. You really only need a little bit of it. Sometimes I see YouTubers out there, they use so much product. I'm like, oh my God. Like, I just can't get over it. I'm like, I can't use that much product on my skin. It looks ridiculous. Do not neglect the neck. Always go to the neck. I'm so hungry. I haven't eaten at all today. Like, this is what I've eaten today. Coffee. That's why my skin is breaking out. Now that my powder is complete, I'm going to take a little eyebrow brush and just brush the eyebrows out and fill them in. I've recently been using the Ulta Slim Brow Pencil in medium brown, and it's been working out. But I always like to start from the center and move my way outward, just because the end of the brow, like mid-brow to the end, is really where you want most of the product to go. You don't want the inner brow closest to the inner corner of your eye to look dark, because that's just not attractive. Now I look like Eddie Munster. Oh my God. Once I get the areas filled in, I like to go back in with the brush and just brush through. I know it looks super harsh right now, because it is, but we gonna fix that in a second. I look like a primate. I look like Ben Stiller's alleged son in Meet the Fockers. What's his name? Jorge? That's who I look like. Today I'm gonna do a little bit more than I normally would, but typically what I will do is take some eyeshadow and just put a little bit on to give the eye some definition. I don't go crazy just because it's every day. I don't have time. But I'm going to take the Pure Be Your Selfie palette. I have fallen in love with this palette ever since I got it in a FabFitFun box. The shades in here are very neutral. This is typically what I wear. That's a better view of what they really look like. The lights are kind of draining it out, but that's better. So I'm going to go in with the shade Pure. This is the lightest shade in the whole palette. I like to use the fluffiest eyeshadow brush I have in my collection. This is the Morphe M510. So this is always something I use for transition shades like this one. This is like it's kind of like a peachy shade, but I really, really like it just for the beginning step. So whenever I apply this, I don't go right into the crease. I like to go a little bit above the crease and do windshield wiper motions, but also swirling at the same time. Blending, blending, blending. Whenever you build with eyeshadow, I always like to start with a lighter transition shade and move on to darker shades. So I'm now I like this palette because everything's just in order for me. I'm just digging this. I'm gonna go in with the next shade over from the first shade I used, and this is called Natural. Oh, I love this palette, and it's so small, so whenever I'm traveling, it's just easy. I actually am gonna use the same brush, the Morphe 510, swirl, tap. You don't want a lot, especially with the lighter shades, because you're going a little bit above the crease. You're still gonna hit your crease, but it's just giving your eyes that little pop of depth. It's just really, really pretty. You will find me on this channel using so many earthy, neutral shades. That is my go-to. I can't get away from it. I have palettes that I so desperately want to use, but they have like blues and purples and greens, and I'm like, what am I gonna do? Greens I'll use. I'll even use plums and purples, but like blue is hard for me. I'm like, when am I gonna wear this? I think I'm gonna, I think I'm gonna branch out. I think this channel is an opportunity for me to do so. So still like right above the eye crease and using the same motions. I'm a little bit sloppy right now, but that's okay, it's okay. This palette is so easy. I'm honestly just gonna use the top 3 shades in this palette. That's where I wanna go. So I'm now going to take a smaller brush and use this shade right here. It is called Free. I'm gonna take a smaller, more tapered brush. This is the Morphe R37. Can you tell I love Morphe brushes? I am gonna go in with that shade Free, and this time around I'm gonna do the same thing. Swirl, tap, but I'm just gonna take this closer to the crease. So now I'm just gonna like kind of press the product into my crease, and only on the outer corner. I am not going to take this close to the inner corner of the eye, just because I want to keep the inner corner of the eye wide open and awake. If you don't want to do this every day, you do not have to. This, again, this might be too much for you. Maybe you're like, holy crap, Kat, like this is way too many steps for me. I just have this down to a science now that it doesn't take me that long to do it anymore. I'm walking through it very intensely right now so that everybody can catch the tips and tricks. So what I like to do now, before I move on to the eyeliner, mascara, whatever you want to do next, is take the first fluffy brush I used, the Morphe M510, and I just like to go above the crease once again, just to blend all of these shadows together so that it looks more natural and a little less harsh. The reason I do my brows first, like a lot of people don't do their brows first, they won't do it until later. I like to have my brows done as kind of like a map and a guide as to where I want my eyeshadow to go and where I want it to stop. It just makes more sense for me to do that. You do not have to do it that way. Just do it whatever way you feel more comfortable. Now that the eyeshadow is blended, I am gonna take the Thrive Causemetics Brilliant Eye Brightener, and this is shade Stila. So I'm gonna use this as a highlight for my eyes. This is another product I got in the FabFitFun box, but I've actually really liked it, especially when I'm in a hurry. Sometimes I will take a shimmery, pretty golden, cream colored shimmer eyeshadow and put it right here with a little brush and then right in the inner corner of the eye, but this is just really easy if you're running late or you're in a hurry. Like, this is just really quick. The thing about stick highlighters is that they are a little harsh, so what I like to do is just kind of like, for a more natural look, I always do it like right here at the arch of the brow to just wake up the eyes a little more. And then the inner corner just adds like a little extra something when doing your makeup. Every time I do the inner corner of the eye with some sort of highlighter, I always think of that show, What Not to Wear. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but I was obsessed with that show. Stacey London and Clinton Kelly. Oh, I loved it so much. And I always think of Carmen D, the makeup artist, who I was the other day stalking on Instagram. I'm such a creeper, but she is out there. She's still looking gorgeous. I love me some Carmen D. Now that I've highlighted and I've done all that jazz, I like to add a little bit of liner. I don't usually do this every day. Typically, I'll just go straight to mascara. I have noticed too over the years that black liquid eyeliner is just like way too much for me. Unless I'm going out to an event or I'm on vacation and I want to like jazz it up, it's too much. With the dark hair and the dark brows, no. I am going to go in with a dark brown liner. It's so hard to read this label because it's brown on black, but it is the Glide Gel Liner by LA Girl Cosmetics. It's about $4.99. I can't remember that exactly, but it is around that range. All of these drugstore products are so good. So I'm just going to do a traditional eyeline, nothing crazy. I don't like to go in too heavy on the hand with this. I just like to add a little bit of You don't have to do this either. Like a lot of people like to go in with a powder just because it's not as harsh. I don't know, I kind of like the eyeliner. I'm not gonna lie. I've always liked a gel liner. I just think it looks pretty. I kind of stop right before the inner corner of the eye. I don't really like to go the whole way in. The key to this is just applying the liner as close to the lash line as possible. Like make sure it gets in there. Otherwise you're gonna have this really weird gappy space and it looks strange. Now that my liner is complete, I love to put a good mascara on, but before I put the mascara on, I have gotten into the habit and routine of putting on a lash primer. This is one of my favorite lash primers. It is the Seal Booster XL by Lancome. You do not have to use this. However, I love it. It's like something I can't get over. It makes your lashes, good old lasses, the lads and the lasses. It makes your lashes look freaking great. I mean, they just look so long and full and beautiful. I never was into priming my lashes ever. It was just one of those extra steps and I was like,
No, thank you. I'm not doing that.
but it's okay, it's worth it. There's also dupes of this too. The L'Oreal Lash Paradise Mascara brand has a primer as well, and I think it's called like Millennial Pink. I actually have it in my makeup bag. I've used it. Do not like it nearly as much as the Lancome. And of course Lancome is the higher end version, of course. I love drugstore makeup. I just can't sacrifice some high-end products. Before I go in with mascara, I usually let this sit for like a minute. I'm gonna go in with the Stila Huge Extreme Lash Mascara. This is my holy grail mascara. Nothing is better. I just go from the root up, just like you apply mascara. I don't even need to explain this part. You guys know how to apply mascara. I know a lot of people out there are slaves to the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara, which comes in a pink tube. It's really, really good too. I like it. I don't get the oomph from the Better Than Sex mascara that I do with this one. What I typically do after applying on the upper lashes, I like to just take the excess and go onto the lower.
Just poke myself in the eye, just poke myself in the eye.
So I'm going to use a product called Butter Bronzer by Physicians Formula. It smells like the beach. Pennsylvania is hopping with snow and sleet and rain this weekend. I can't wait. I'm going to use the Morphe R2 brush. This is the perfect brush for bronzer. Just swirl, a tap, and just go right under, right from the hairline down, under the cheekbone. I also like to kind of like bring the bronzer down with the brush in a downward motion, just so things do look a little more natural. I also like to go up here on the temples. This is really the sculpting process. This is my favorite part of makeup, is sculpting out the face. I have a very round face. All right, all right. It's getting along there. And then I like to go along the jawline.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Go down here on the neck. I don't usually go on the whole neck, just over here on the sides. Make sure too that you're focusing on the chin area just so everything looks consistent. I'm gonna take the same bronzing powder and I'm gonna use a brush that I used earlier for my eyes. I'm gonna take the same bronzing powder and apply this to the nose to contour the nose. Again, like this is something I don't do every day, but I'm doing it now just to show you. If you want to do it, you can. Taking contour powder or bronzing powder and putting it onto the bottom of the nose. This is a way that you can shorten the appearance of your nose. Okay, that's enough. Seriously, calm down. I am going to go onto the side of the nose. Instead of going straight down, what you want to do is go up here onto the bridge with the bronzing powder and kind of go into like an angle. If you can see me just like... Again, these are all steps you do not have to take if you don't want to. I'm here, so I might as well just do it. I am not this particular day to day. I'm not. The last step is to take a blush. It doesn't matter what blush, whatever blush you like. I like to use usually just a lighter, peachier, nice natural blush. This one I have used forever. It's probably not even safe to put it on my skin. It is the Too Faced Love Flush Blush. That's so hard to say.
Love Flush Blush. Love Flush Blush.
In shade Baby Love. I've been using this one for a long, long time and I love it. I can't get over it. Just look at this. Again, I probably should not be wearing this on my face, but I'm going to. I'm gonna take the Morphe R10 brush. It's tapered, so I just like to kind of like pat into the skin. Press on in. I like to use the LA Girl Ultimate Lip Liner. This is the Intense Stay Auto Liner. This stuff is like, oh, it's so good and it's so inexpensive. I think it's $4.99. It goes on so smooth, it stays on forever. This is shade Nonstop Nude. This is like the most perfect nude shade. Sometimes, most of the times, I will leave my lips like this. I won't add any other product. But today I'm gonna add a little gloss just because, you know, I like a little gloss. This is the Fenty Beauty Fussy Gloss Bomb. Voila. I'm always gonna end these videos with a wine selection of choice. This one I had with my neighbors like a few weeks ago. Actually, after the holidays, we had a little belated Christmas party. This is a red blend from Napa Valley. It is called Stonehenge. The bottle itself is so heavy. My friends Matt and Michelle were the ones hosting the party. They had this. I was like, what? Going to the store tomorrow. This is so good. I think it's worth $40 to $60 a bottle, but I bought this at the Pennsylvania Wine and Spirit store for $19.99. It's a red blend, I believe, from Napa Valley. And oh my Lord, is this good. It's 14.5% alcohol volume, which is kind of like crazy, like whoa. But it's so good that you don't even notice it. Typically, I won't drink red wine with more than 13.5% just because I've had 14% wines, 14.5%, and they do not taste good. I've even had 15% and they're just drowned in alcohol. It just doesn't taste good. It really takes away from the tannins and the beauty of what red wine is. Let's just bottoms up because it's Friday, you know? By the way, I'm not a wine snob. I just really, really, really like wine. This smells like a wine from a local vineyard I love, and it's featured on my blog. So if you go to my blog, it's part of the wine spotlight. It's called Vala, and it smells like, what's the wine that I love there? Barbera, that's what they call it. It's exactly what it smells like. Maybe that's why I like it so much. It's very, like when you just smell it, to me, it smells very earthy, and I like that. I like rustic. I'm into rustic tasting red. And cheers. Seriously, if you are 21 and older, if you are younger than 21, listen, just tune it out. Listen, I'm not trying to be a prude or anything, but drinking under the age of 21, it's against the law, so Not on my channel, not trying to promote that. To me, it has like a woodsy, earthy type of finish. It's so, so good. It goes down so smoothly. I have another bottle over there. I had 3 other bottles that have already been consumed. Not by me alone, not by me alone. just clarification, but I probably could have if I really wanted to.
Oh my gosh, you are serious right now?
I went to Stonehenge's website, and this is a $55 bottle normally. I got it for $19.99. I hope it's still on sale. I'm going back tonight. Rich sense of blackberry, spicy oak. Yes, the oakiness, the earthiness, which you get as soon as you smell this wine. With elements of vanilla and hints of a mossy forest. Smoky oak flavors linger long in the finish. I don't like oak in white wine, but I always have loved oak in a good red wine. You know what, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not leaving my apartment tonight.